Well, from LSSI, we want to give you the warmest welcome to this webinar, where through their different presentation, the speaker will help us understand how operational excellence and industrial 4.0 will be fundamental tools to face the new challenge in Africa. To start, Luis Socconini, CEO and founder of Lean Six Sigma Institute, will give us a vision of the Lean Six Sigma 4.0 tools. We kindly remind you that the question and answer round will take place when the speaker finishes their presentation. We appreciate that. Please, Luis, formally begins this important webinar for LSSI and our team in Africa.
Thank you very much, Clara, and thank you everyone for joining us. Today is a very special day, and thank you everybody to attend. First, I want to introduce a little bit about Lean Six Sigma Institute. We are an organization based in San Diego, that our purpose is to help organizations to succeed. How? By adopting the very powerful tools and methodologies. So this is Lean Six Sigma 4.0 right now. So far, we have certified around 90,000 people in our 25 years of history. We have coached more than 700 projects around the world. And so far, we have saved around $900 million coaching these specific projects. So we are based, as I mentioned, in San Diego, and also we have our team in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and India right now. So those are the offices currently we have in Spain, Morocco, Saudi Arabia, India, and China. In North America, we have also different offices in the United States and Mexico and Canada. And Latin America, we also have partners in Colombia, Ecuador, Chile, Paraguay, Peru, and other countries. So we have clients in around 64 countries, and we deliver our services in 9 languages. So we are very blessed to have trainers and coaches that speak 9 different languages. So we also develop our training materials. We are not just a training company or coaching company. We deliver our trainings and projects with the materials we develop around the research we do in different industries. So we promote our materials in different universities where we teach all these contents, and also with all our clients around the world. So these are the industries that we currently serve. As you can see, we have all kind of industries. We have from food and beverage. That's where we started 20 plus years ago. Electronic companies, metal, mechanics, services. I think in services, this is where more opportunities we have found recently, and this is the most growing industry so far. Automotive, we help different automotive companies around the world, government, agriculture, mining, packaging, airports, pharmaceutical, bank and insurance, hotel and restaurants, hospitals, construction, cosmetics, plastics, oil and gas, logistics, education, footwear, textile, printing, foundry, and also army. So why is this is important for us? Because as you can see in a wide range of industries, Lean Six Sigma 4.0 is transforming the way companies work in all the different areas, not just the manufacturing or service area, but all the processes around in something we call the Lean Company. So that's why, for example, right now we're working with hospitals, but not only in the patient journey, but also in sales and marketing, in human resources, in logistics, in IT, in maintenance, etc. So any of these industries, they have processes. So for us, it's very important to think in a systemic approach, not just one process or the other, but the systemic approach where we can find all kind of opportunities within any kind of process. So why Lean Six Sigma 4.0? So this is the main question, and sometimes they asked me to explain it in a very simple way. Well, because every process, without exception, they need speed, quality, and right now we are in the middle of the digital transformation. So we provide a philosophy, a methodology, and a set of tools that any company will need to become more successful every time. So what can we expect about Lean Six Sigma 4.0? Well, first of all, cost reduction. Maybe this is one of the first concerns around the world, and that's why many companies are using Lean Six Sigma 4.0. But also, we have seen an increase in capacity, a significant increase in capacity, significant increase in revenue, increased margins, reduced investments, especially inventory, and also when they want to expand their plants and the spaces. It's a huge investment in machinery and so on. So we can help to reduce on the minimum, only the minimum necessary in terms of investments. And in the soft side, we have a higher satisfaction for our clients, but also for our personnel internally. So that's why most of the tools you will find in the Lean Six Sigma 4.0 toolset are communication tools. So what we can expect is better communication, risk reduction, sustainable growth, and create an improvement culture around the company. And the way this system works is by training and supporting every level within the organization. This is not a system that is only up to down or down top. So it's both ways. So every leader, every manager is involved in the transformation. So that's why it goes from top to bottom. But also every employee, every team member is invited to participate in something we call the white belt training. So lean managers and white belt trainings are the first trainings that we suggest to start a transformation, Lean Six Sigma 4.0 transformation. From there, we suggest that around 20 to 50% of their employees, they become yellow belt. So yellow belts, normally they have some kind of leadership position. They have a responsibility about delivering speed and quality, whatever the process they manage. And they will get tools to improve speed, to reduce cost, to increase capacity, to improve quality with the yellow belt tool set. Then we have the green belt. So the green belt, we recommend that around 10 to 20% of people within the company, they become green belts. So green belt training is going to provide statistical tools mainly. So you will be able to transform data into information and information into better decisions. So we are improving the quality of decision making. So that's why it's so important, the green belts. And then black belts, they will be from 1 to 3%, totally full-time dedicated to Lean Six Sigma. They are experts in both Lean Six Sigma tools, but also they will be in charge of implementing the 4.0 transformation. That's why you will see in the content some subjects in the black belt training with the knowledge of 4.0 transformation. And then we have the master black belts. So those are very important individuals within a company. Normally, they will lead the management team to the company-wide transformation. Normally, they will teach every year the black belt training to at least 10 people. Every black belt will train a green belt group around 10. Sorry, around 10. And so on. So this is a system that is not just about learning and certifying, but also teaching others. So in other words, the companies right now, they require to not only have bosses, but also leaders that are able to teach the transformation. So within you will have a tool set, as I mentioned, based on a methodology. The methodology says define the problem, define the team, define the scope, define the level of improvement. Then you will measure and map, so you will be able to understand the process very deep. And then you will analyze whatever you measure in order to understand where are the main constraints or the main opportunities. Once you know that, then you will focus on improve whatever the situation is based on a problem related with speed or quality or capacity or cost. And then if you will be able to improve, at least you need to control in order to maintain whatever your gains are. So you will find a tool set. As you will see, the tool set goes from leadership tools for leaders. Then in the white belt and yellow belt training, you will find basic and simple tools to improve decision making, improve communication, and improve the flow and quality. Then in the green belt, you will find, as I mentioned, statistical tools, advanced tools for the black belts, where we include the industry 4.0 transformation with some of the 4.0 tools. And then you will find in the master black belt the rest of the digital transformation tools, and mainly focus on innovation. So we can send you the details about our programs if you like. So where can we implement Lean Six Sigma? As I mentioned, this is not just for the core process. This is for every function within the company. So this is something we call Lean Company, Lean Six Sigma company. And right now, this is Lean Six Sigma 4.0 company, where every function, human resources, upper management, research and development, marketing, finance, procurement, service, manufacturing, and so on, every function within the company, they need to know and use strategic tools. They need to know and use basic tools. And depending on the function or the processes within the function, then this is where we are going to find opportunities. So we have been doing projects with human resources. For example, right now we are running a project with Amazon, and this is just based in human resources. So many people think, why human resources and not production or logistics or delivery? So because this is a process, and right now, here is where we find the constraint, the main constraint. So these are some of our clients, just to give you an idea. 20% of our clients are these kind of clients, the huge brands that you will recognize immediately. And 80% of our clients are small and medium-sized companies. So, but just to give you an idea, we work with the top 500 Fortune companies, all kind of products, as food and beverage, any other industry, like Fender guitars. It's another one. The Navy and the Army are regular clients. Pharmaceutical companies, BAS, which is a chemical company, a German chemical company, Bombardier, ExxonMobil, etc. So just let me give you an example of a traditional case. This is important because this is the way companies are transforming the way they think and the way they work. So everything starts with the analysis of the limitations to productivity. So every process, wherever the process is, if this is human resources or innovation or quality, production, service, or wherever the process you run, including marketing and sales and so on, will have any of these limitations. Number one, overburden. So every process they have overburden task, stressful task, high risk task. So our job is to find it, because this is going to be the number one priority, overburden. Then we have variability. Every process has variability. For example, right now we are running a process for logistics. So we're analyzing the variability on demand and variability on capacity. And we want to try to match both to reduce variability. We find variability also in cost performance. We find this in people performance. So variability is inherent to every process. Our job is to find the sources for variability, find the combination of sources for variability, and make sure that we can reduce or eliminate the sources for variability. Therefore, we will find a process with less variability, that accomplish your goals. Finally, our number three opportunity or limitation is called muda or waste. So we have 10 different kind of waste: overproduction, excess of inventory, defects and reworks, unnecessary movements, overprocessing, waiting and searching, transport, waste of energy, not used talent, and pollution. So our job is to find all those opportunities within a company or within a process. And our job is to reduce whatever the process is in terms of time, so we can reduce it by eliminating or reducing all those kind of productivity limitations. So let me give you an example. This is a small manufacturing company based in San Diego. This company for 42 years was very successful, but then in 2020, well, I don't remember exactly the time, but 2008, where we had a very severe crisis, economic crisis in the United States. This company were about to close. Basically, they were not making any money. Their capacity was only 20 to 30 machines. They produce this kind of machines. They use it for painting ships, planes, furniture, homes, and so on. So this is their product. They were able to produce only 20 to 30 units a day. Their sales were 2.4 millions. As I mentioned, this is a very small company with very small profit, with a huge backlog because their delivery times were so long. You can see 3 to 4 weeks. Their inventory was more than $2 million. So they had really high costs and low margin. When they were considering to close this company, they had constant rework and a huge debt that it was increasing every year. So what is the project about? So first, we don't do anything but prepare. So we take some time, around 3 to 6 weeks for preparation. So this is where we deliver the training, the first 3 levels of training: lean management, white belt, and yellow belt. Just the yellow belt includes the 3 previous steps. We develop a 1-page business case and 1-page strategic plan. And we design how are we going to measure the company. Then we are going to draw the value stream map in order to understand where is the value and where is the waste. And finally, we're going to organize the leaders in just one team. We call that the value stream office. So this is just to give you an example how the leaders were organized instead of working everyone in their office. So now we have well, in the beginning, it was called the war room, where we had the sales and marketing responsible, then planning. We had planning and materials, manufacturing, delivering, and finance, all together, working together as a value stream. Then we designed this one. This is called the box score. This is a very simple tool that you will learn during the lean management training, where we are going to organize how we measure the company constantly, in this case, every week. So we have quality and productivity indicators in the yellow area, capacity and demand in the green area, and finance indicators in the blue area. So every week, the team is going to understand how the company is doing. So in other words, we are not measuring departments. We are not measuring directors anymore. We measure the process, just the process. Then we develop during the preparation, a time and motion study. So we understood with a spaghetti diagram how the process was moving around the areas, and how the people was moving around the areas. They were based in different manufacturing departments. So we found departments everywhere. Then with the value stream map, we were able to find how the information flows from right to left, and how the product moves from left to right until the client. So in this chart, we can see where is the bottleneck or the main constraint. So in other words, we don't start improving everywhere at the same time. What we do is to focus in just one place. So this is the constraint. And then the team is going to learn the different tools and reorganize the way they work. So we develop a future value stream map. So this, in other words, this is like a map or a plan on how are we going to build the next generation of processes within the company. As you can see some thunders. Every thunder represents a Kaizen event, an improvement event where we are going to change something. So let me show you what happened after the preparation. So we had a very enthusiastic team that during 30 weeks, they work on something we call the pilot phase. During the pilot phase, we were able to practice all the tools they learned in the previous stage. So, for example, the basic tools, 5S, add-on, and standardized work. And then they develop 4 Kaizen events. So let me show you what happened. So first is 5S, everything set in order. So everyone is able to find anything. Anything means a tool, an order, a piece, or a product in 30 seconds or less. That's why productivity comes first, and also quality with safety. So that's why 5S is so powerful. Then Andon means visual management. So they developed this very simple board where they had the daily goal broken in the different hours, so they can see what should happen during the first hour and what really happened during the first hour. They use colors to notice if they were doing good or not, so red or green, and any note will be taken here. So in other words, we open the black box to everyone within the process, so they were able to understand what was the goal and how they were doing constantly. Instead of having long procedures, we develop only one-page job descriptions. Very simple. Then the first Kaizen event was about redesigning some components of the machine. So we developed with value engineering and design of experiments, another programming for this board, electronic board behind that control. We use different screws to make the final assembly. So they changed completely the way they assemble the machine. And this gave us a huge reduction in production time. So we conduct another Kaizen event to find other suppliers for critical materials. So this is one example. They used to pay $34.99 for this metal case. And after the Kaizen event, they were able to find it for $14 with better quality and better service. So they cleaned the warehouse. It was impossible to find anything in the past. Right now they use half of the space, just half of the space, and they increase in more than 5 times their capacity. So the art of doing twice with half of the resources. And this is the heart of this transformation. This is a manufacturing cell where everything starts now from the finished inventory. So this is called the supermarket. They have a collection of finished goods ready to be shipped. So with 95% of certainty, we know that everything that the customer needs is already produced. They don't just need to withdraw it from the supermarket, package, and ship it immediately. So what happens here? I'm sorry. What happens here? Well, every time a product is withdrawn and sold, then a Kanban card is going to be moved to the Kanban board. So what this man is going to do, in the past was the most stressed person in the company. Right now, every time there's an empty slot, they will place the Kanban card right there. So the process, in other words, moved from push system, now is a pull system. So instead of having different departments within the manufacturing area, now what we have is a manufacturing cell where we have all the functions in just one place. So in other words, now everything flows in one single piece. Instead of making small lots within the process, now everything flows from the beginning to the end and in only 10 minutes. That was a record for the most complex machines. Final assembly in just 10 minutes. The simple one, 6 minutes. So it was a huge change Of course, we complemented with a final Kaizen event to reduce mistakes. So we developed the Pokayoki system, where in the past they forgot some screws. So in order to withdraw and screw, you have to withdraw first the number one, and then the next gate is going to be able to open and take the next screw. And only when you take the next one, it's going to let you go and take the next one, and so on. So we also developed the work instructions in videos, not just in paper, but in videos. So if anyone has any question, now we started putting everything in digital. So this is where digital transformation started, very simple within the instructions. Right now they use augmented reality also. And we develop a multi-skill matrix. So this is not just one activity per person. Now everyone within the process, they will need to know every step on the process. So now we evaluate the level of knowledge and how they dominate that knowledge. So instead of paying just per hour, now this company is paying by knowledge and experience. And also they reward how people is involved in teaching others. So it's based in a internal certification. So for example, Bob, this guy has 35 points. So with 35 points, their salary is based on their knowledge and how they perform. So it's a completely different way to measure people in order to train them and to make them interested in the process. Finally, just to finish my presentation, the changes were significant. So instead of producing 20 to 30 units a day, they increased capacity almost to double. Sales, they were at least in the first year, they were moved into double. But profits, they were multiplied by 4 point something, almost 5 times. Backlog, 0. Inventory became less than half. Delivery time, instead of 3 to 4 weeks, it was immediate delivery. Only special orders, only the 5% that doesn't fall in the supermarket takes 2 days to deliver special orders. So in other words, they reduced with this implementation 33%, and almost 0 reworks, only 2 in 4 months. And of course, they started reducing their debt. In other words, they were able to save this company a lot of jobs. And I wanted to present this case because this is the start of a transformation. After the pilot, we suggest to move to a deployment phase where we are using more technology based on the digital transformation. Now, Moni is going to talk about that, but I just wanted to show you how very simple tools can improve significantly the life of a company and the success of their employees. So this is how powerful Lean Six Sigma 4.0 can be in a very small company. So let me see if there is any question here. Yeah, public clients. Yes, of course. We have, Oscar, we have different public clients, such as, um, oh, let me see. Got it right here. DMV is the division of motor vehicles in California, is one of them. We have also public hospitals. We work with different governments. We work in North America with some of the companies that they deliver the water to the cities. And also, we're working right now in Colorado with a company that they deliver the electricity to the cities in Colorado. Yeah, we have government. We work with the U.S. government in different projects, such as Army, Navy. We work with local governments. For example, in California, we are training a group of people for Manhattan Beach government, which is a municipal government, where they are trying to reduce the time to release a construction license. Right now, well, they began in 6 months. Right now, they cut it into 3 months. So yes, we have some government projects, and very, very interesting. By the way, we call that lean government. When we work with hospitals or any health company, we call that lean healthcare. When we work with agriculture, we call that lean agriculture. Thank you. Thank you for your comment, Oscar.
Okay, so I think
Great.
thank you very much, Luis,
Of
for
course.
your
My
clear
pleasure.
overview, and thank you for sharing the case study. And I think we move on now to the next speaker, which is Yassine Akrif. He's plant manager in Coca-Cola, and he is going to speak about the importance of operational excellence in the supply chain value stream. Okay, so please, Yassine, whenever you want, you can take the screen, you can share, and please.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Share my screen. Do you have the presentation? I share it with you.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I can share my screen. Okay.
Yeah, you share with little arrow there. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So thank you, Luis, for and LSSI team to give me the opportunity to share learnings and feedbacks from my experiences. Now I am in ECCBC, one of the bottler of Coca-Cola in Africa, mainly in North Africa and West Africa. I will start by talking about the context of the region, mainly in the north and the west of Africa. I visited several countries, and most of them we see that the business is more or less impacted in terms of losses between 5 and 30%, depend on the sector, depend on some specific challenges. So we have a lot of losses, or in our way of talking, opportunities. In addition of that, as you know, all of you, sales or trade between Africa countries, it's not much developed. We are in Africa at 60% of intra-Africa trade. The first one is Europe with 54%, which make more pressure on our supply chain in globally. That means that we need to import a lot, which is clear in the ratio of import-export in Africa, which is more than 130% for all the continents. Which make the complexity of our supply chain. We need to import our first material to do business and to work with it, which impact automatically the lead time, and also increase the working capital, because we need to build stock internally, and also make a lot of risk in the shortage we can have and can happen during the supply chain. So in terms of context, the supply chain in Africa, it's very stressed, because of several reasons, of several factors, external and internal, mainly because infrastructure it's not enough developed, governance and policies, also investments and access to the technologies, and also human capital. So all of these factors can be transformed to opportunities, and some countries start already the journey. So visiting some countries in the North and West Africa, we can see that we have like some progression. They make a lot of money, they make a lot of effort. But uh, to join the topic of today, which is excellence operational and Lean Six Sigma, we need absolutely to make the culture, because we can make a lot of money and make a lot of effort today, but we are not sure that it will be like sustainable and we can find the result for tomorrow. So this is the context. Africa will be in the next coming years the most part of the growth around the world will come from Africa. Africa, it's a big market and it's a young market. So we need to develop around countries and companies in Africa the culture of excellence. Culture of excellence from my side, or regarding my previous experience and learnings, can start with two steps. The first one, we need the excellence engagement from the top management. The CEO of the company should be like engaged and motivated to start the journey of the Lean Six Sigma. Without this engagement, we cannot advance. So the first step to do, it's to have this clear vision from the top management and clear communication around all the levels of the company with the clear target, with the clear explanation to engage all the structure. The second one, it's bottom up. The first one is top down. The second one is bottom up. The bottom up for me, it's what Luis talked about it in the last two slides. We need to start a pilot. We need to have like some small quick wins. Why it's very important? It's to motivate the population. It's to motivate the team to trust the démarche, to trust the approach. We need to look for some small quick wins will impact for sure the PNL, will impact for sure the business, but in the same time will impact the culture, will impact the culture of the people. And in general, if you need to assess if the company or the country we develop already the culture of excellence, we should look for these quick wins. If we go to the shop floor and we see that we still have several leakage, several downtime, several losses, and we still work around normally, it's not a sign of a good cultural excellence. So my recommendation or my learning for this two steps. Let's have the commitment of the top management to the excellence management approach, and the second one, start smaller with the quick wins that will give us the trust and motivate the team to go ahead for this big journey. It's not a journey for a month, it's not a journey for a year, it's a journey for several years. That means that we need to build for that a system. And here I give an example of a CCBC and how we are structuring our way of work. To make it easy, I prepare it in these three blocks. The first one, it's what we call infinite loop. Here in the infinite loop, it's the system, the management system linked to our strategy. We start with defining the business goals and measuring the gap between the goals and the reality. So first step, it's a business goals in the first loop, which is the loop of control. This infinite loop is constituted by two loops, loops of control and loops of improvement. And the first step here is to set a target. The second step, once we set the target, we put it in the loop of improvement. We measure the gap between what we put as target and what is the reality. Based on that, we do the gap analysis and we start preparing the improvement plan. The number 4 here is where we apply the tools that Luis shared with us in the presentation. 5Ss, DMAIC, Kaizen, ITRE-OPF, all the tools that we are like having in the Lean Six Sigma approach, we can apply it just here. Once we have the improvement, we standardize. And this is the end of the loop of the improvement. Once we standardize the processes, then we go to the loop of the control. We put this standard under control. And to control the standard, we have some each hour control, shift control, daily control, and weekly control. Based on the gaps we will found versus the standard, we should define actions and review it in the regular basis. And why it's infinite loop? Because once we reach the target, we put again a new target, a new challenge. And again, we measure the gap. And this is why it's infinite loop, because we are reaching or looking for the continuous improvement. The second pillar of the way of work is to set a clear commitment, governance, and clear organization. It's a big journey. We need skilled people with a good resource. So we put the resources, the necessary resources around the plants, around the business to ensure that we are focusing on the improvement. We train people at the shop floor level in yellow and white belt. We put green and black belt as head of performance and operation excellence manager for each plant and for each BU. And we develop also the culture of champion around each pillar. So the approach is that we need to set a clear organization and clear governance with a clear program of steering committee, of meetings, of follow-up, and ensure that everything is transparent. So this is for us the second pillar. And for sure, the last one, it's improvements. We measure each month our cost base, and we define the losses versus the benchmarks. So every month we are like measuring ourselves versus the internal benchmark and also versus the KU or Coca-Cola benchmark around the world. And each time we are like challenging ourselves to do better. For sure, we can use the network of Coca-Cola because we are similar to learn about the best practices and apply it in Kaizen projects to help us to improve the target, to reach the target. So to make it simple, we work as ECCBC bottler of Coca-Cola company in Africa in 3 blocks. The first one is the infinite loop, which is represent the system. The second one is the organization and how we are doing our governance. And the last one, it's the right monitoring of the impact, which is the output of all the dynamic of the excellence of operational excellence. So I just put these 3 slides to be very short and clear. I don't know if you have any questions, Maria, Luis.
Yeah, I think there was a question there that we can put at the end about some examples about lean projects on medical devices. Maybe we can answer this later. So I don't know if anyone has some questions for Justine. I don't see. Okay. Otherwise, you can put in the chat and we can share them later. Okay, Justine, thank you very much for sharing all your reflection on Africa's situation and Africa opportunities, and for sharing with us your strategy for continuous improvement in Coca-Cola. So thank you very much. So now we have Muni Taher, which is he's CEO of Beyond 4.0. He will explain now a little bit more. And he's going to speak about the role of digitalization in successful continuous improvement workshops. Okay, so thank you very much, Muni. You can go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for the invitation. So do you see my screen?
Yes, we see.
Good. Thank you. So I'm Mohamed Tarmouni, as you introduced. I'm the founder of Beyond 4.0. So we are a company based in Casablanca in Morocco, and we are integrator of Industry 4.0 solutions. So before opening this company, I was working as black belt in several sectors like pharma, automotive, and aerospace, where what Luis explained to us. So is the basic. So Lean Six Sigma is the source for all the advancement in manufacturing, in my point of view. And since 5 years now, I start to discover new tools that will help Lean practitioners or Lean Six Sigma practitioners to improve their daily job, which is continuous improvement, and help the customer reach its KPIs. So one of the things is that as Lean or Six Sigma practitioners, we need to map the value stream, as it was explained by Luis, to create the flow and then to establish the pool. The objective is to seek perfection. And for this, there is several tools that I will discuss about. like IoT, simulation, augmented reality, big data, and others that are here to help like the team improve their daily job. So first of all, Industry 4.0, it started now maybe 14 years ago. So the first time that it was announced as a name was in Germany, in Hanover Messe in 2011. And from 2011 to now, there is like too much discrepancy between factories in the same country, but also between continents. And as I'm working in different continents between Europe, Africa, and Asia, I discovered that is different maturity level. And for this, there is new like assessment matrix. One of them is the Smart Industry Readiness Index, which is a methodology developed between several stakeholders. It's a non-governmental like association now called Insight, that it help like companies understand two principal things. So Luis explained to us, they understand in the beginning why they need to do continuous improvement. And this new VAG for Lean 4.0 is here to explain to the customer two things, or to respond to two things, why we need digital transformation. And when they understand why, they need to know from where to start, because digital transformation is a big name, and it's also a journey linked with continuous improvement. So you need to have your roadmap for the next 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. And for this, there is several tools or assessment matrix. One of them is that I'm using in some factories in Africa, but mainly in Europe and Asia, to do assessments for factories to understand their level of maturity. So then, like what was shown in the example by Luis is that, for example, one of the solutions that I'm talking about, it's IoT, for example, that it can help the customer understand. Let's take a process which is a machine automated. We want to calculate OE. So the actual solution for lean practitioners is that they have paper like given to the operator, where he like each time he have a stop, he need to put it in this like paper, and after like the end of the shift, there is another operator or a manager who will take the data from the file to synthesize this in an Excel file, and after 24 hours we will start to analyze the data, why we have this bottleneck, why we have these stops. So it means that if we are like successful, we will have the data. So the maximum speed will be 24 hours. Now with the IoT development, which is very well developed now and structured across the globe, there are solutions like the solution we are seeing in this picture, that it can help manufacturer monitor in real time what is going on. And if it is going on like visually, I can see that when it is red, it is an unplanned stop. It means that I need to react to remove this unplanned stop or to reduce the corrective like intervention. When it is yellow, it is a speed loss that machine is not producing respecting the target, and so on. It can also help me digitize like other type of like monitoring, like energy monitoring or footprint carbon monitoring, and so on. And the picture below, like it's a picture that we received from a customer, where the performance manager was traveling and he has an analysis to do. So, and he has access, he needs just internet in his flight, and he can monitor in real time and see what's happening and try to remove Muda or Muri from the process in real time. So that was an example of how like digital solution can help in the journey of continuous improvement. The second step that I saw and I practice also in some factories is that like visual management for daily meetings, for example, or for 5S, for Gemba Walk, and so on. So the picture in the left show that the basic is to have already routines, Lean Six Sigma routines, because you cannot go from no information to digital information. You need to have a process like Luis explained, that people are already accountable. They know what is SQCDP, for example. They know what is a daily meeting, shift meeting, weekly meeting, monthly meeting, like Yassine presented. They needed to do it by paper in order to understand the process. And now the digital transformation is to help them to remove the unnecessary work, which is the paper, the preparation, and especially the gathering of all the data from the factory or different factories in one platform that everyone can access in real time to do their rituals and meetings. The third point, so this is some solutions that I used in the past, like as explained by Luis, it was a question of doing value stream mapping, but also heat map and spaghetti diagrams in order to understand what's going on and to like redesign the layout in order to remove the waste of transportation or the waste of the operator moving for other steps. So for this, there is new technologies like ultra wideband in this picture, where we can see that you don't need a Lean Six Sigma practitioner or a continuous improvement team to be inside the factory to watch and to take a pen and to draw from where the operator go, like step 1, step 2, step 3. This is very important thing because it can give you in real time what is the diagram, and with machine learning now algorithms, it can even predict what is the problem and tell you which solution you can do in order to remove the muda or the waste of transportation. So the other solution that I want to do is that like Luis explained, so Lean Six Sigma, it's not only for factories. So this is a video from a partner in US. They are using computer vision to detect what's going on inside the parking system in an airport. So if you can see, the camera, one camera can detect when the plane parked, when the jetway was extended. Now, when the bags are here, that's the unloading bag, it started. So it can detect also when it finished, and then it will go to the next step, for example, in the process, which is catering, which means that when the catering comes, it will detect automatically when the catering tracks come, and so on, fuel, loading bags, and so on. So now, coming back to Lean Six Sigma, if we need to improve this type of process, you need to have like humans analyzing this step by step by manual, and they must be like behind the camera or directly in the shop floor in order to understand. So now with new technologies, you don't need too much work. It will will be easy for you as a lean practitioner to understand what's going on and to take the right assumptions and to resolve the problem. And after, the same solution will help you get feedback of the solutions that you did in the shop floor. Did they have the results that I want to have, or do I need some adjustment? So all of this with like new technology, this is technology's computer vision for identification. So also one good example is what Luis talked about. So this manual step operation that they developed this Pokayuke system now with augmented reality. So this is a solution that I used to use when I was working for Boeing in aerospace. Sorry. So the solution it's a video, explain how an operator doesn't matter how many years he have in the position. So now here, I asked him to grab and place the PCB, then to grab the IC. When he grab it, I will like show him when to put like this first component, then to grab the relay with a video or a photo that he will understand what he need to do. The second operation, so it's if he take another component, the system will stop him like 100% Pokayuk, and it is like augmented reality to guide the operator. So the solution is like a human guide interface, And for example, here, like we will have some technology like vision-based inspection, where the operator will be guided through this augmented reality that you have this elko orientation, take it back and correct your problem. So you don't need to send it to the second operation. So going back to our subject, which is Lean Six Sigma, one of the problems in this is like, especially when you have big turnover in such stations, like, and also you have variability. So this type of solutions can help you reduce the cycle time and be standard in the cycle time, but also reduce the variability between operators. So all these concepts, now we are developing it. It's a project that we are launching now in Morocco between my company Beyond 4.0 and Deutsche Messe Technology Academy. So you know maybe Hannover Messe. So it's the Smart Factory Academy of Hannover Messe that we are launching together a project in Morocco about what we call the concept of the Smart Factory. And to let you understand what is this concept is that imagine that you have a model line. It's a showroom where any factory can come to have training, basic training in Lean Six Sigma. And with the Lean Six Sigma practitioners, we will go inside this line to understand how we can go from a manual line to automated line using several types of technology. It can be IoT, it can be like augmented reality, cobots, robots, AMR, AGV, and others. And in this ecosystem, there is collaboration between different stakeholders, technology providers, because they need to test their solutions, manufacturers, because they have the pinpoint to understand how Industry 4.0 works and how it can help them in their continuous improvement journey, government, because government need to know how Lean Six Sigma and Industry 4.0 will transform their like industries, startups, because they are one of the most important things for research and development, federations and clusters of manufacturers, universities and research and development institutions, and incubators and technoparks. And according to this, you can have like a model line like this. So this is an example of one of the successful model lines that is existing in the world, where you can see in real time what's going on. So it's a factory that, as I explained, so imagine you are a manufacturer, you want to understand what's going on, you can enter to this factory, like for example, this is a model line to assemble drones, for example. So you can go and order your drone through a CRM product. Then the customer will understand what is a CRM. So directly the CRM will send the data to ERP, and from the ERP to MES, you will have like an augmented reality to guide the operator. This is a wall of 3D machines to help operators understand how to code 3D machines. He is monitoring like with the augmented reality. Then there is a cobot, which is easy to code to help people understand that cobots have very big impact, especially in the operation of quality control and inspection. So like this cobot will do a Pokayuki to control if everything is good. So in manufacturing, we cannot automatize 100% of the operations. So this is a station to help people understand what is like peak by light or augmented reality for operators. And you will understand like in 2 days, 3 days, how to go from Lean to Lean 4.0. Like this is like some standard model lines that are existing in the world that it can help you as a factory to understand. And then you can pack here, like for example, to go to the process of logistics. So I will pack with a pick and place robot and put it on EMR that will transfer the product to the warehouse. So that was what I wanted to share. I don't know if there is any question for my side.
Thank you, Moni. I think you have a question from Ambar. Can we apply Lean Six Sigma 4.0 to services?
Yes, of course. So I I explained for myself because I am an expert in manufacturing. So Luis have more experience in this sector like of services. But just to give you an example, so one of the good solutions of Industry 4.0 to improve services is the RPA. So RPA, like for example, now one of the biggest ones in the world using this is DHL, where you can, from the CRM, like just direct send the invoicing, and there is OCR that will detect directly the data from the invoice and take all the process automatically without any delay in the process.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Moni. Thank you for the enlightenment you have given us and inspiration. So I hope we can change our minds to see that it is possible, Lean Six Sigma and 4.0, and it's already happening for many years. So thank you, Moni. I think we are going to go ahead with Samir. Samir Elgid is Human Resources Manager at AutoNECMA. I don't know if I'm pronouncing properly. And Samir is going to talk us about the role of human resources in the change management and the continuous improvement. Okay, that's a very, very important topic. So please, Samir, you want to share with us? Are you there, Samir? Yeah?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, you can share. You have a little arrow below to share, or
Yes.
if you have difficulties, I can also share with you. Yes. Yes,
Is
we
it
can
okay?
see your screen. Yes, we can see your screen. Thank you.
Well, as you said, I'm HR manager for general distributor of Mercedes-Benz. We are the general distributor in Morocco, and as a distributor, our margin are very, very low. So we use tools like the important one is Lean Six Sigma to optimize our processes and have some gain in our processes. Well, my presentation will be in French, so I switch to French. Tout le monde a parlé depuis le tout début de changement. Changement de processus, changement d'organisation et de transformation. Et tout ça nous amène à une chose très évidente, c'est que le changement est devenu quelque chose de vraiment permanent. Et ceci apporte beaucoup de pression sur tous les niveaux, pression de la part des actionnaires qui veulent de la rentabilité immédiatement, d'où un certain nombre de fusions, absorptions, etc. Les évolutions technologiques telles que présentées par Moni, et ça crée un peu un mouvement de panique et de peur chez les salariés. La mondialisation, les concurrents ne sont plus les concurrents qui sont en face, qui sont de l'autre côté du bout de la rue, mais ils sont un peu partout. Et les mouvements de concentration, tout ça apporte de la pression sur les salariés, et les entreprises, elles doivent absolument gérer cette partie en accompagnant le changement. D'autre part, aujourd'hui, lorsqu'on recrute, je ne recrute pas pour un poste, je recrute un potentiel. Je cherche quelqu'un de qui va occuper par exemple un poste de contrôleur de gestion, mais qui peut demain être directeur financier. Je cherche un ingénieur en production qui peut demain être directeur industriel. Donc on cherche beaucoup plus le potentiel, mais ce que recherchent les RH en premier lieu, je recherche des personnes qui sont, capable d'accepter très très vite le changement, puisque le changement, je le répète, est devenu quelque chose de très permanent. Et je cherche surtout des futurs ambassadeurs et des facilitateurs du changement. Et ce sont justement ces gens sur lesquels on va s'appuyer, on va le voir le dernier slide, comment on s'appuie sur ces personnes pour accélérer le processus de changement. D'autre part, lorsqu'on regarde, par exemple, les fusions-absorptions, il y a un chiffre, 75% des fusions-absorptions échouent. À cause de quoi? À cause du facteur humain qui n'a pas été suffisamment pris en compte. Donc là, on voit l'ensemble des processus. Et sur ce graphique, d'un côté, on a la complexité technique croissante et en abscisse, on a la complexité relationnelle. Et on a différents types de changements, de transformations ou de projets d'entreprise. Et à chaque étape, on a besoin d'accompagner le changement. Par exemple, lorsqu'on regarde en haut à droite, on a les fusions-absorptions, fusions d'entreprises, les projets de digitalisation, installation de ERP, les chaos, enfin les problèmes organisationnels, mais on a aussi la revue des processus transverses. Ça apporte énormément de stress, ça apporte énormément de déconnexion des salariés, et soit qu'on va attendre jusqu'à constater l'échec, soit qu'on décide de prendre les choses en main et d'accompagner le changement. Et dans ce sens, selon Cotter, le changement, il passe par 8 étapes essentielles. Première étape, c'est de créer l'urgence. Donc, c'est de dire qu'il est urgent, qu'il est nécessaire d'agir immédiatement. La deuxième étape, c'est de former une coalition. Cette coalition interne qui va porter le projet et qui va être un peu partout pour communiquer et pour influencer sur la nécessité de ce changement. La troisième étape étant de créer une vision de l'état futur, c'est-à-dire qu'on va schématiser l'état souhaité et on précise au passage quels sont les objectifs, quelles sont les différentes étapes et les moyens à mettre en place. Et puis surtout, la phase suivante, la quatrième, étant de communiquer la vision, c'est-à-dire ce qui permettra d'embarquer l'ensemble des salariés. Et une fois qu'on a communiqué cette vision, qu'on l'a partagée, il faut inciter à l'action. L'étape suivante étant de définir des quick wins, puisque les projets de transformation généralement sont très longs, et si on attend la fin du projet pour dire on a réussi, on n'a pas réussi, on risque de voir décrocher beaucoup de personnes. Et de ce fait, on définit des résultats intermédiaires, et là, en les définissant, il s'agit de célébrer chaque réussite d'étape. On la célèbre pour dire que nous sommes sur le bon chemin et que nous avons réalisé ce qu'on voulait faire, et voilà ce qui nous reste à faire. Après, l'avant-dernière étape, c'est de consolider le succès, et la dernière, c'est l'ancrage. Beaucoup d'entreprises ignorent cette partie parce que c'est là où on parle de culture, et cet ancrage, ça permet de mettre tout ce qu'on a gagné à travers ce processus de changement dans l'ADN de l'entreprise qu'on vient justement de créer. Et là, vous connaissez tous la courbe du changement, donc avec les phases, le choc, le déni, et puis on passe par la colère, la peur, le marchandage, la dépression, et on arrive à l'acceptation, l'expérimentation, décision, intégration et l'action. Pourquoi j'en parle ici? C'est que le rôle de la RH, c'est d'essayer d'accélérer certaines, parce que le, toutes les personnes ne passent pas par toutes ces étapes. Il y a des personnes qui sont pour le changement. Ce que j'ai dit tout à l'heure, je recrute des gens qui sont pour le changement, voire des acteurs du changement. Eux, ils passent directement de l'annonce et directement, ils sont dans l'expérimentation. D'autres personnes, elles sont résistantes au changement et le rôle de la RH, c'est de les accompagner pour accélérer le processus de passer du déni à la colère, la peur, le marchandage, directement à l'acceptation pour commencer l'expérimentation. Et là, on a une auteure qui s'appelle Ross Kobler qui a associé à ce processus de changement le fameux disque. Alors, disque, c'est le langage des couleurs, et on dit, voilà, chaque personne, elle a une certaine couleur dominante. Le rouge, c'est pour la dominance, le jaune, c'est pour l'influence, le vert pour la stabilité, et le bleu, c'est pour la conformité. Et justement, le rôle de la direction et des RH, c'est d'identifier des personnes qui sont capables d'informer de façon objective et de façon euh, optimale, ben, c'est les bleus. Les bleus qui se caractérisent par les couleurs, par enfin, les caractéristiques de précision, de rigueur, de structure. Donc, lorsqu'on veut annoncer un changement, eh ben, il n'y a pas mieux qu'une personne de dominance bleue à le faire. Une fois qu'on a communiqué, il faut accompagner pour guider. Et là, il n'y a pas mieux que les personnes qui ont une dominante verte, c'est-à-dire caractérisée par méthodologie, écoute et stabilité. Et on rentre là, une fois qu'on a accéléré ce passage de l'annonce jusqu'à la dépression, donc on dépasse très très rapidement cette phase pour rebondir et être dans l'acceptation. Alors, tout le monde n'arrive pas à remonter la pente. Il y a des personnes qu'on perd et qui refusent catégoriquement tout changement, on les perd en cours de route. Et de ce fait, ceux qu'on arrive à embarquer, eh ben, on va s'appuyer sur des personnes à dominante jaune pour encourager et pour influencer ces personnes à accepter et à expérimenter. Donc les jaunes se caractérisent par la sociabilité, l'influence, l'inspiration. Donc ils vont pousser ces personnes justement à expérimenter. Et lorsqu'ils ont expérimenté, ils décident d'intégrer le processus de changement. Et là, on a besoin des dirigeants. Donc la dominante rouge, c'est pour engager et pour embarquer et définir des plans d'action pour y parvenir. 4 choses importantes, c'est que on commence par changer de l'intérieur. C'est-à-dire, j'ai vu très très peu d'organisations qui amènent un cabinet qui va les accompagner et va leur donner tout sur le processus de transformation. La transformation doit se baser sur des personnes en interne. Et il faut les identifier, soit qu'ils sont dans l'organisation, soit qu'on les recrute pour ça. On s'appuie aussi sur des acteurs clés, des personnes justement en fonction des phases. Je vais m'appuyer sur des personnes. Est-ce que j'ai besoin d'un bleu, d'un vert, d'un jaune ou d'un rouge? Et puis, on développe un vivier de champions du changement. On les développe, on leur donne les outils, etc., pour conduire justement les personnes à arriver directement dans la 4e phase. Et puis, on oriente et on soutient les champions du changement tout au long du processus. Voilà, donc le rôle de la RH, en tout cas, moi je fais ce métier depuis 32 ans et durant ces années, j'ai vu plusieurs fusions-absorptions, j'ai vu des fermetures d'entreprises, des ouvertures d'entreprises, des transformations de processus, etc. Et à chaque fois, ça n'a pas été facile. Par exemple, la fusion de Sanofi Aventis, j'ai intégré l'entreprise et nous sommes restés deux entreprises différentes pendant plus de 5 ans. Et il a fallu justement prendre les choses en main, réussir un projet de transformation pour pouvoir parler d'une seule entreprise. Il y a une autre fusion, celle de Lafarge et de Holcim, à laquelle j'ai participé. Je peux vous dire que nous sommes très, 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 très loin du résultat escompté. C'est-à-dire que les, les synergies souhaitées, nous sommes très, très loin de les réaliser parce que justement, le processus a été écourté et pour moi, c'est une fusion qui n'a pas donné l'ensemble de ses fruits. Donc, voilà, le processus étant d'accompagner pour soit accélérer des phases, soit créer carrément des passerelles pour passer directement, par exemple, de la colère à l'expérimentation ou à la décision. Et on s'appuie sur des gens en interne. Voilà, je vous remercie. Et si vous avez des questions, je suis à votre disposition.
Thank you very much. Merci bien, Samir. I hope people, I have been trying to translate a little bit on the chat so people could follow if someone doesn't speak French. But yeah, please, you have any questions for Samir? Very, very interesting, very enlightened, and very important item, Samir. So thank you very much for sharing your experiences and your two cases that you have experienced. So thank you for also sharing the Kotter model. If you have any questions, guys, you can put in the chat. Okay, so Muni tried to, yeah, you have LSSI in services. There was something about medical devices. If we have some customer in medical devices, there was someone asking before. Abdel Fattah. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Luis still there.
Yeah, so
okay,
maybe
guys.
Luis can explain if you have some use cases in medical devices.
I have worked myself in medical devices. We have to see if we have some in the States, but I have worked in a spin-off in Philips, actually. Now, Luis, you can take over. That we used to make a small medical device to test, to put the blood, pinch on the blood, to test if you had a heart attack. You know, when you have heart attack, you segregate a hormone. So this is created. This you create a small handheld device that you can test before going to the hospital if you have heart attack to start intervening. And myself, I was part of a team of black belts improving the first process, in fact, the first production process on a pilot line. So yes, we do have experience, but maybe I also give Luis also the option to answer to this question. Thank you, Luis.
Well, yes, we have some clients in the medical industry. Here we have one. They produce the dialysis materials, the bags for the dialysis patients, but also they produce the pumps that everyone in the company, the pumps to supply the medication to the patients. So this is one example. In fact, this is one chapter of a book that right now I'm working, and I'm presenting this case with medical devices because it's interesting how the entire supply chain becomes lean with a Lean Six Sigma 4.0 effort, where we connect all the links from the supply chain all together. So here we have suppliers, we have the factory, logistics, the hospitals, and then the patients. And this is a very interesting case because in this one, we analyze the speed of the process within every step. So what we realize is that here we had, well, this is in Spanish, but I'm going to explain it in English. Then we have all the average delivery time for every step of the entire supply chain. And here in the graphs, we can see how every time we move further from the customers, so the final customer, then the information starts a distortion. We have more variability. This is the bullwhip effect in a push system. So this one should be used to be a push system with you can see the variability. The variability of the demand was 12%, and then once expanded until 81% variability with 150 days inventory in the entire supply chain. So this is a chapter you will find in this book, but then this is the solution, and this is very interesting and impacting, because we were able to reduce the variation from 12, which is the real variation within the entire supply chain, by implementing a full system based just in the needs, not just suppositions, but or thinking to guess what's going to happen. But now the links of the entire supply chains are assembled together by the Kanban system. So you will see that instead of 150 days inventory, now it works with only 10 days. So that's an example that it was based on a medical devices, not just the solution, but the pumps that supply the medication to the patients. So just to give you an idea, I don't know if you have any particular question about that, but yeah, we have several customers related with that.
Maybe I can help. So I was
Go on, Muni. Go ahead.
Involved with some discussions with the Lean Six Sigma Institute. So
Right.
I know now that Aziz with the like Viso company based in Casablanca are the partner for LSSI in Africa, and I was really interested as ex Lean Six Sigma practitioner to hear about what it will going on. So as Luis explained, so Lean Six Sigma Institute is one of the biggest in the world. So now is the turn for Africa because we are growing. So as Salih Diop asked in the chat about the introduction, so for me, Africa is the future for the world for several things, especially as Yasin explained. We have many opportunities in health and well-being, in renewable energy and materials, in construction, food, and especially agriculture. So for this, African leaders, they need to drive sustainable development, and also they need to incorporate global goals in their core group. So if you can go to next slide, maybe Maria. So as already explained by Luis before, so the Lean Six Sigma Institute vision is to provide Lean Six Sigma training and consulting services globally. So the base for this is to empower individuals to achieve the sustainable success, but also to transform the way businesses operate. So the ultimate objective is to help customers in any sector to maximize profit, increase value, and make a positive impact. So next slide. So LSSI business model is to help individuals to stay relevant about the complex marketplace, and they need for this to have the needed knowledge and tools to make significant impact. Also, with this big number of coaches and consultants that Miria explained in several projects, that they will be coached for individual to become problem-solving experts, because it is the most critical thing, and the technology will come after to help you empower or improve this problem-solving expertise. So next. So also the same, when we are talking about individuals is one thing, organization is the same, the other side, which is Lean Six Sigma services will empower teams with knowledge, tools, and methodologies in the order to help the customer achieve the QCDS, which is security, quality, cost, and delay. So next slide. So the services that will be provided by LSSI in Africa First of all is training. We need to raise awareness. So we will be bigger and bigger continent in manufacturing. And for this, the customers, but also they need training, but mainly also help in project implementation and introduction to Lean Six Sigma methodologies, as already explained by Luis, and especially to develop the critical problem solving. So there is several things that are developed by Lean Six Sigma Institute. So today I think is the announcement of this collaboration that started already. And I think one of my teams already benefit from your expertise in Africa, which is already this training for yellow belt, green belt that I can recommend for others that are with us, or any other person that are interested to understand the real Lean Six Sigma methodologies.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Muni. So yes, we are sorry, Assis, you cannot speak, but especially yes, as Muni said, the team in Africa, they want to focus on individual people and also organizations. That's the main goal, and also to make associations with universities, associations with companies, associations with institutes, in which we're going to start making the seats for the new trainees, the new professionals, the new younger generations that need to be trained, but also the organizations also that need to be trained to have operational excellence. As we were saying, of course, the potential is huge, but the potential, economic potential without the training, the support, the coaching of, like Samir was saying, the guidance is not possible. So yes, I think I don't know if anyone wants to say something.
For your
Luis, yeah.
Yes, thank you,
We
Mireya,
try
for
to save it.
your great job. Of course, this webinar is mainly in a way to say welcome to our team in Africa and Morocco, and we expect to achieve a lot of things, because Africa is now very important for the world. So we are really proud to work with this great team. And I don't know, Luis, if you have to close the webinar.
Yes, of course. We are so happy to announce our introduction of our team in Morocco. For us, it's so relevant, as Moni mentioned. Africa is growing and being an example for the whole world. So we are putting a lot of effort, and I really want to congratulate our team in Africa that is working directly with our team in Spain, well, in Europe. I'm really, really happy and very proud of you guys, and I think we're gonna make great achievements in the near future. So thank you very much for this opportunity to serve the companies in Morocco and to serve the world.
Thank you, Luis. Well,
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Yes.
Thank you for your participation. Thank you for everybody. So
Thank you, Muni. Thank you,
Okay.
Amber.
we
Assis.
yes,
Thank
we
you.
close the webinar.
We'll be sending the information provided in this webinar, and we'll be very happy to answer any further question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you a
very
lot.
much.
Have a good day.
Muni?
Night. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.